Hi, I'm Liz with Liz's Crafts, and today I will be bringing to you a short video for a gift and a card for a baby. So what I have is this large tag that I got from Ross after Thanksgiving. It was $1.49, and it's pretty thick. It's a pretty nice quality. So I'm just going to take my little hand sander here, finger sander, whatever you want to call it, and I'm just going to sand off the images that's on the front of it. And this worked very well. I didn't have to paint it or anything. And now I have this vinyl from, is it Frisco? Let me see. Yes, Frisco Craft that I'm using. It's a black matte vinyl, and I will have it in a description box along with the finger sander. And I just printed up the Now I Lay Me Down to Sleep from Cricut Design Space. I sized it to fit my tag there, and I'm just pulling the vinyl off of the message or the prayer. Now, I had a couple problems. One of it was the M. The M for morning. It kind of disappeared on me, so I have to search for it. Excuse me. I had to search for it in the vinyl that I took off. So I did speed this up quite a bit so you wouldn't have to watch me do this in real time. But it does take quite a while for me to look through all of this vinyl to try to find that M. I did not want to have to cut another one. So I'm just taking my time in going through all of this vinyl that was taken off to try to find this M. Oh, there it is. I found half of it. So it had got cut in half, probably when I was cutting the vinyl pieces apart to look for it. So I found part of it, and now I'm looking for the second part of it. And there it is. So I'm just going to add my M on the board there, or on the backing sheet. So, you know, vinyl isn't the easiest thing to use. What you got to remember is just to be patient and to be persistent. Don't give up easily. I mean, some things I have thrown away. Don't get me wrong on that. I just felt like they were unsalvageable. So now I lost the other piece of my M. I'm like, where the heck did it go? And there it is under the board. How did that happen? I have no idea. And then one of the periods was missing, and I found it on my hand. I mean, it's just, this vinyl is just crazy. And it's not just this vinyl, it's all vinyl. I go through this, and I mean, yes, it can be frustrating, but don't let it get to you. Just be patient and continue on. And you can pretty much figure out where to put like the M and the dot, because there is indentations on the backing sheet there. And now I have all my words on there. And you can see after keep, there's no period. But I did find it. Like I said, it was on my hand. So now I'm just going to weed out the pieces that were in between the letters there, or in the letters. And I just use the tools that I have from Dollar Tree. They work fine. So there it is, all weeded out. And now I'm just using some clear contact paper. My husband had a bunch of rolls of it, so I didn't want it to go to waste. It was just sitting there. So I was like, you know what? I think I can use this as transfer tape. So that's what I'm doing. It seems to work pretty well. Now that I got my transfer tape on there, I'm going to pull the mat off of the carrier sheet. And then I'm going to take my Dollar Tree tool there and I'm just going to burnish the words onto the transfer tape. And then I'm going to pull the backing sheet off. Now you have to be careful when you're doing this. You don't want to pull it off too quickly because some of the words or letters could come off. So you want to take your time with this. And I sped this up. There it is on my transfer sheet, and now I'm just going to place it on my tag there. And like I said, on this tag, all I did was sand off the images, and I did not put, and I wiped it off, of course, but I didn't put any paint or anything on it. I thought it was great the way it was once I sanded it, and I went with it. So it made for a pretty quick DIY there. So as I'm pulling it, if something tries to come up, I just use my scraper tool there and try to scrape it down, burnish it down. And then sometimes I use my fingernail to hold the letters down as I'm pulling the transfer tape off. You'll see that right here. So I hold it down as I'm pulling the tape off. Now, even though that M was cut, once you get it on the board and together, you can't even tell it. So it was good to go. And then here, part of my E, I think it was, on the pulled off. It stuck to the transfer tape and I didn't catch it in time. You'll see that here in a second. But you know what? You just put it back on. And again, you can't even really tell. There it is right there. And then once I finish getting everything on my tag, I do take it outside and I spray it with some clear matte sealer. Actually, this one was kind of a glossy sealer. So there's the gift. Now I lay me down to sleep. I pray the Lord my soul to keep. Angels, watch through the night and wake me with the morning light. Amen. I like that. And then I made this little card on my Cricut. It says, it's a boy with an airplane, because the person I'm giving it to, they're having a boy in about 5 weeks. Now, I did cut this card myself. So it's just regular 8.5 by 11 cardstock that's colored. And I did get it a little too big, so it's better to have it too big than too small. So I'm just cutting off some of the edges there to make it line up properly. So again, this is a card that's off Design Space. There it is. And this is the insert I'm going to use. And then I have this blue, I don't know, do you call it metallic? Oh my gosh, my mind. Vinyl. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I can't think of it. Anyway, this blue metallic vinyl from the Dollar Tree. And I'm just going to put it on the one side of the insert. I'm not going to put it on the other side. Now I'm just cutting the vinyl to down to the card. And then I'll trim it up. Now, because I had to cut my card down, my insert was a little bit too big, so I'm going to have to cut it down a little bit. But I'm going to try to fit it in here to see how much I need to cut off. So I'm just going to trim it up. Going to make sure that I took enough off on that edge. And now I'm going to do the other edge. Then we're going to try it again, make sure everything looks okay. So it's a little puffy right there, so I decided to take a little bit more off one of the edges just to make it lay more flat. So I'm just going to take a little tiny sliver off. And now once I fit it in there, it fits perfectly. So my card is ready to go. There it is, isn't it cute? It's a boy with an airplane. And now we are going to make the envelope. So I am just measuring my card there. And I have this envelope maker that I bought several years ago, and actually I just started using it, I don't know, a week or two ago. Several weeks ago, I started using it for the first time. So you find the size of your card on this graph here, and then it tells you what size to cut your paper for your envelope. So my envelope needed to be 7.5 by 7.5 inches. And I didn't even know how to use this thing. I had to go to YouTube and search and put the name of this item in there so that somebody could show me how to use it. So once you have your paper cut, then it gives you a number for the size of your envelope where there's a ruler on the top there on the right hand side, and the number that is on there, that's where you line up the edge of your paper. And then you take this tool that comes with it, and what it does is it creases your cardstock so that you can fold it. And then what I'm showing you there is once you crease it, then you line your crease up with the point there, and then you do the next crease because you turn it counterclockwise. And then that button you push down, it puts a little notch in your paper there. So you want to do this for all 4 sides. And then if you want all your points there to be rounded, there's a cut at the top of this device there that will round the edges. So I'm just folding down these tabs so it makes the envelope there. And then I'm just checking to make sure my card fits in there, and it does. It's all good. And now I have this double-sided tape that I got from the Dollar Tree so that I can put it on the edge, the sides of the envelope here to make it adhere to itself. So you only have to put it on these 2 side pieces there. Just peel the backing off and then press them down. And I'm just taking my bone along the edges of the envelope. It just makes it flatter, more crisp. And now I'm just cutting a little piece of the double-sided tape to close up the envelope when I'm ready to give the card to the person. Now I'm just fitting the card inside there. There it is. It's all good. Has its envelope. Isn't that nice? Now you can also make envelopes on Design Space, but here's where I was telling you where you could round the edges of the envelope here. So I just rounded that edge there and then the tab where the top of the envelope folds down. Now I just put my card in, and you can, you know, write whatever you want in your card. And then when you're ready to seal it, you just take that backing off, and that's it. So there it is. And there's the gift and the card together. Let me know what you think, and would you make something like this for a gift? Again, I'm Liz with Liz's Crafts, and if you like what you see here, think about giving me a thumbs up. And if you know other people that might like these kinds of crafts, please feel free to share my video with them, and I'll see you in the next